and welcome back to my channel. So today's video was originally going to be something completely different. I was going to do something about my sewing book collection, and then I realized that I had something else I needed to talk about. So we're gonna have a little channel update, which I honestly don't think I've ever really done before. So let's back up. I have been on YouTube now for several years. I think it's been like 4, probably going on 5, and in that time, once I kind of got into the rhythm of things, I've been basically posting once a week for the past, I would say, like 3 years or so, and honestly, I'm starting to burn out a little bit. So I know that this is something that I have kind of always talked about on the channel. I am not a full-time YouTuber in any way, shape, or form. I'm a full-time teacher, and I do YouTube as a hobby because it's something that I like to do. I originally got into YouTubing as a way of kind of sharing more bullet journal content than what I could on Instagram back at the time. I know now there's all like IGTV and all that kind of stuff, but back then, sounds like it's so long ago. It's really not. But back when I started Instagram, there just wasn't that like capacity to post longer videos, and that was really why I started YouTube. I never actually intended it for it to become a thing I do. Honestly, I didn't really plan for it. And now that I've been doing it for a while, I really love the process of making content, but I don't have the time in my schedule to really dedicate to dedicate any more time than what I already give to YouTube. And as a result, it's gotten a little bit just kind of disheartening the past like year or so, where I've noticed that YouTube is really gearing more towards full-time creators, and I'm not that, and it's really clear in my filming and my editing, because I'm not trained in film in any way, shape, or form. I don't really have time to like dedicate more time to editing my videos than I do. So everything that I post on my channel is really designed to be as simple as possible and to be as clear as possible while taking the least amount of time, because I just don't have any more with my job. And I have really been struggling this year to keep up with my filming schedule, which, for the past couple of years, well, actually, I think since I started, I post on Sundays. If I happen to have a second video, I post those on Thursdays, but typically I post every single Sunday. And this school year in particular, I have had to take more hiatuses than I have ever had to before, just because work kind of got out of my hands. I mean, I did have that time where I lost internet for a month, which was super cool, but other than that, normally I have kind of a routine that I go through, and I film a lot of content ahead of time. A lot of times I tell you all in the video when I actually film this, so that it's been posted a month later or 2 months later, and that's just what I have to do in order to get content up every single week. And so the fact that I've had to take, I think, at least 2 hiatuses this year of 2 weeks, I think that sounds right, I don't remember. It feels like it's been a lot, but maybe it hasn't been, I don't know. That is really showing to me that even though I, had a routine that worked really well, my work schedule has kind of changed a little bit, and I have different responsibilities, and kind of more responsibilities now than even last year. And the more I've been thinking about it, the more that I've realized that something's got to give. Otherwise, I'm just going to completely burn out and just not want to do YouTube anymore, which is not really my goal. I never intended this to be a full-time thing, but at the same time, I really do enjoy creating content. And so I'd like to keep it to where I still want to do that. And so I've been kind of kicking around a few ideas for the past like month or so, as I kind of finally realized that I needed to change something. And I think I figured out what I want to do, at least for now. So I figured I would just go ahead and do a video update rather than doing it on the community tab, because I know not everybody sees those like posts or whatever, or not everybody takes the time to read them. So I figure, why not? I'll put it on here. So the plan is, so school's winding down, which is great. And I have the next 2 weeks, I have my Q3 plan with me and my July plan with me that I would like to do, because I'm a creature of habit, and I really do want to have every quarterly and every monthly up on my channel, just because, like, for me, I don't like to skip things anyway. So I do want to do those 2 videos. That'll take me through the end of June. And then I think the plan is to take a 2-week hiatus off the first 2 weeks of July, which I had actually planned on doing for a while. I realized last year when I needed to take that I need a couple of weeks to like wind down from school ending. And so that is kind of a good time period for me to take off. And then what I want to do when I come back is start posting every other week rather than every week. And I want to test it out through the summer because one, I won't have the work stuff kind of hanging over my head all the time, because that's part of the problem, is that I could post every other week in the summer. I don't necessarily always want to because I want to do other stuff too, but I could in the summer. During the school year is where it's really kind of an issue, and if my schedule stays kind of the same breakout of hours that I had this year, next year, I'm gonna have the same issue that I ran into this year, where I'm like filming at the last minute and editing at the last minute, and I just can never kind of get on top of things. And so I kind of want to test out how I like posting every other week, how that sort of frees up some time in my schedule or not. I mean, I assume it will, because I'll be putting out less content. If that kind of helps restart like my creative juices, because I've been noticing that I'm having a harder time coming up with video ideas, just because, especially with planning content, I know a lot of people like the bullet journal stuff, but I have a very stable planner, and I don't do a lot of really different things in my bullet journal, and I do still want to keep posting that because I think that it's nice to have, I don't know, I think it's nice to have some content on the internet that's not just really fancy bullet journal pages. Like mine, I would say mine are kind of in the middle. Like I do letter and I do use different color pens. Like I don't just use a ballpoint pen in my bullet journal, but at the same time, my setup is very static month to month. I don't really do any sort of doodling or drawing, and I think it's nice to have that kind of content out there to show people who, you know, maybe want to do something a little bit more than just writing in a bullet journal with the ballpoint pen, and like the art spreads, because I know we all love the art spreads, but like that's not necessarily realistic for everybody. It's not something that everybody wants to do. So long story short, I like to have that kind of content on here because I think it's good to show that like there are more than one way to bullet journal. But I also know it's not the most like inspiring content necessarily, because my spreads do stay the same month to month. So I think that I need to sort of step back, and I don't want to just go on like a 3-month hiatus and not post anything at all, which is why I think that doing every other week will be a little bit more manageable, and it'll kind of give me some time to decide what I want to do. You know, do I want to stay on an every other week schedule when I go back to work in the fall, or do I want to go back up to every week, or do I want to like what exactly do I want to do? And I think part of the reason that I've been kind of also feeling a little disheartened is because I have a core group of people, and you know who you are. I have a core group of people who basically will watch all of my videos kind of no matter what topic I post about, and I do really appreciate that. That's awesome. But I also know that the more that I branch out into different kinds of content from what I originally did, which was really just planner based, the worse that my videos do in general. And I'm not a big channel by any stretch, and I'm not a full-time YouTuber. This is not my job, but at the same time, you know, I put out, you know, sewing content or language stuff, and some of the videos do pretty well and some of them don't do super well at all, and it's kind of sad because they're things that are really near and dear to my heart, that I understand why people don't necessarily want to watch that, but at the same time I kind of wish they did a little better because I think they're really cool. And so that's definitely been a bit of a, not like disappointing, but it has been just kind of disheartening to know that, you know, I want to keep posting this varied content because that's what I would like to create, and knowing before I even post it that a lot of these videos by sort of YouTube standards are just going to tank. And so yeah, it's just a combination of a bunch of different things. And so I think that the answer is this: step back a little bit. I'm gonna take my July hiatus as I had planned to do. I've been planning on doing that basically since the school year started because I know I kind of need that break. And then go back to posting every other week. I will keep my same posting day. I really like posting on Sundays, and I think that for the people who do like to watch my videos, they like having something that is up on Sunday morning. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of chat about that because it's been something that's been weighing on my mind, and I'm definitely not at the point where I want to quit YouTube or anything that dramatic, but I do think that I'm inching closer and closer to burnout because I've tried to maintain this posting schedule with a full-time job, with knowing that my channel is not doing like great in sort of with the normal markers of a successful channel, if you will, which is not actually my goal. Like, I don't really care how many views I get or whatever, but at the same time, knowing that there's that like very big difference between the bullet journal content and like everything else is kind of like, oh, it's kind of a bummer that more people don't enjoy that other content as well. Which is fine, like you're free to watch whatever you want on YouTube, obviously. But I think that rather than let that kind of get me down, taking a step back is the answer. So that is today's video. I honestly just wanted to kind of get that out, and I figured that it would be easier to explain in a video than in a typed post. And I also just was not, as much as I kind of wanted to film the video that I had planned to film today, I just was like weirdly not inspired or motivated to do it. And so I figured this was going to be the video that needed to get out rather than the one I had planned to get out. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. I don't know. It's a channel update. I don't know if there are going to be any comments or questions. And we'll definitely still be around, maybe a little bit less than I usually am, but I will still be posting content. I mean, I'm planning to post content for the next 2 weeks before I do my hiatus. And then after I come back, it'll be every other week. So there you have it. That is today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are actually watching my end screen and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. There's a little button right there for you to do it. And if you're interested in watching some more of my videos, I have links to 2 of my older videos off to the left there, so you can check those out if you would like to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.